Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40k. Last time we dealt with the aftermath of having that one lady turn on us and try to get the Arbides and everyone to turn on us so she could take the tide for herself. And then we went back to what happens. We killed her because she was obviously greedy and she thought she could kill us and all that. It was either that or let her keep working in like a storage room, which I'm like, that's kind of a stupid punishment, because if she was, you know, big enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, she's definitely gonna kill us or try to take our stuff later. So I got rid of her. And then for the Marshal Strashes, he wouldn't let me just forgive him, which I get it. It's kind of like honor, and he feels responsible for being duped. So we decide to send him to Phaebos 6 as the new High Overseer to take Solomorn's place. So now he's there. I tried to appoint Solomon as the new overseer, new marshal, but he was like, you can't just say that. You can't make me it. They gotta like do a bunch of laws and all that, but my word will make it easier for him to do that, and he was happy. So yeah, we did that. And then what else? Oh yeah, and then we landed on the planet again, Dargonis, and we come to this scene. Turns out, cause we're here because of Wersarian. His house is being suspected of being heretics. And we come down here, and it turns out we had assassins, but the guard dealt with them beforehand. So now I'm gonna examine the assailants and read what it said. So, observation: these are rare, high-functioning servitor specimens present among the expired units. Such specimens are traditionally bestowed upon the noble houses that are most loyal to the sacred fellowship of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The augmetics of the deceased do differ from the implants ordinary people wear. It's clear they were not ordinary humans. As far as I know, House Gaprak has received such servitors from the Crimson Priesthood as gifts in the past, although this is my first time seeing one myself. I would I don't suspect Gaprak, because Gaprak could have turned on me at the hearing, but everyone sided with me. So I'm gonna say I don't think this is Gaprak. Not like the official house doing it. Maybe someone inside Gaprak house might be doing it, trying to further their power, but not the official ones. Where is the court chancellor, Clementia Wersarian? I think she is with the rest of House Wersarian, detained in the throne room, that is. Governor Drivestem has gathered all of Dargonis' nobility there to pronounce a guilty verdict against House Wersarian. Why are they not here to greet me? I do not know. Perhaps he is... You can probably find him in the throne room, where the governor intends to put House Wersarian on trial. Fine. The bodies bear multiple wounds. It is evident that they died recently.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I've read about this.
There was a crumpled up letter in the inside pocket of an assailant's blood-soaked jacket. Can I read it?
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
I haven't upgraded these two yet because I haven't used them for a while, so... Yes. So if there's people around me, I'm hard to hit from range. And we'll give you... Medicaid, maybe? Do that. Maybe if I can't reach someone, then I have armor at least. I'll wear athletics. Next attack made by an ally under the effects of that gain more MP. That's good. Crits just do less damage overall. Make him survive longer if he does get crit. There you go. And then you. I have to check her guns, by the way, because I feel like she can have better guns. Okay, do more damage to people that haven't been hit this turn. Awareness. There you go. All she has is awareness. Sure. That and ballistic skill, it's not on here. So, perception maybe? There, and... that, I guess. So I just got a precise bulleter. Nothing special on it. Nothing special on this. Just focused weaponry. It loses range but does more damage. Okay, and then for any like assault rifle I can get. Yeah. Immobilize, blah blah blah. Okay, anyway. Precise bolter. More damage against anybody besides humans. Has same fire rate. Same range. Less additional hit chance. Because that would bump it up to basically the same thing. That'd be 11 to 14, and that'd be 17 to 21. So it's the exact same, but you lose the chance. So I guess I'll keep that one on.
None shall stand in my way.
We got our Mars. We have a Gamma Messengers. Shady character. Okay. Let's just go in, I guess. This is not, I don't know what good, because like they were just defending me, but now they're accusing each other. Hopefully I can smooth this out.
I promised that despicable butcher Tarfantes that I would watch him die. And
Oh. Dang. Let me through. I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementia Wersarian. My apologies, my lord, but you cannot go for any further. Governor Drivestem's orders. This is ridiculous. I shall complain. Move over. Let his lordship, the rogue trader, through. I humbly beg your pardon. Please, this way. Your lordship, 'tis an honor. I regret that such unfortunate circumstances have occasioned the rogue trader's visit to the capital. Your lordship, you are here. Please, you must hear us out. The rogue trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us, and to punish the traitors. We have known each other for many decades now, and we have had our fair share of disagreements, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very definition of honor and loyalty? We have evidence implicating them. Abelard, I am sure that his lordship will arrive at a fair ruling. What are the charges? Disruption of logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus Administratum officials, document forgery, and organization of heretical insurrections. On top of the evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your protectorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of the imperial tithe, which in turn has drawn the Administratum's attention. Needless to say, the esteemed Adeptus Arbites cannot ignore this situation either, and before their representatives arrive at the palace, we are obliged to identify and punish those responsible. Clementia, I wish to hear your account. House Wersarian denies all charges laid against it. These last few months have indeed been trying for Dargonus, but we have done our best to remedy the situation. My family's every effort was focused on stabilizing the capital's logistics and economy, so much so that we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our backs. What happened on Dargonus in my absence? When we caught wind of the rumors of your disappearance, we patiently awaited news of your return, but then Dargonus was struck by a series of terrible events. The first was the sabotage of logistics that hampered shipments. Then mass unrest spread across the entire planet, and the minor noble houses began squabbling among themselves, trying to pin blame on our rivals. We took great pains to calm them down, and managed to quash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. These events have also been overshadowed by the, I am ashamed to even say it out loud in front of you, the rumors circulating among the higher houses. Some were calling for Theodora's true heir to be installed as head of your house, Kunrad Voitvir. Not all of your subjects have forgotten his past efforts for the benefit of the Trade Protectorate. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led to the Wersarians. Why are there dead bodies at the entrance of my palace? I humbly beg your pardon. You see, right before your arrival, the palace guard discovered a plot to assassinate you. Fortunately, the maleficators were disposed of before they could do you any harm. Drivestem, you aren't accusing one of Dargonus' leading noble houses of treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course I have evidence. The investigation has established that members of the Wersarian family, which is responsible for both Dargonus' fleet and its logistics, used their contacts to influence and forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, thus fomenting unrest among the inhabitants. Allow me to introduce my son Cornelius. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it is thanks to him that we managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents. The investigation led us to the perpetrators, who admitted to acting on the orders of members of House Wersarian. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of Rogue Trader to the true heir. This young man is shrouded in the mist of gray and blue. Sickly shadows of fear are fluttering around him. Maybe he's lying. Do you support the governor's accusations? They exchange glances. No one is willing to be the first to answer. Over his many years of service, Governor Drivestem earned Theodora's trust, and he holds his high office for a reason. On behalf of House Sauerback, I support his accusations. Your Lordship, Governor Drivestem has always faithfully served the rogue traders of House von Valancius and concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty. And so House Gaprak thinks his charges against House Wersarian to be sound. I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in the Adeptus Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital. Yeah, I want to hear more. Sabotaging, logistics, riots, conspiracies. The case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision. As you wish, Your Lordship. Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I am certain that all the charges are false, and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present, the noble lords and ladies. Okay.
Victory awaits.
Okay. So we got the Gaprax over here. Hello. Greetings, Your Lordship. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. Abelard, it must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances, with your house standing accused of such a grave crime. My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach. Do you think they're true? I would not take such a responsibility upon myself and rule on their guilt. I do think Governor Drivestem's accusations are worthy of consideration, though. In your opinion, which nobles might have a reason to be party to such a conspiracy? Pardon my bluntness, but I will answer truthfully. It could be anyone. Greed, fear, and ideals can drive even the most loyal subjects to do the unthinkable. I've examined the bodies of the assailants that were killed today. All of them were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus, isn't that so? Uh-oh. Your Lordship, thank you for informing us on this. You are absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with such high-functioning servitors, a blessing for those who revere the Omnissiah. But today, none of our house members were accompanied by them. Maybe it's someone from your house that is a saboteur. I found this note on the bodies of one of the attackers. What are your thoughts on it? Officially, high-functioning servitors are employed by my house and my house alone. If such units were to attack the rogue trader, suspicion would instantly fall upon the Gapraks. I assume that they did not expect that the servitors would have this letter on them. Vincent? What do you think of the charges? I do not think I could doubt the validity of the accusations, but I am also not sure that House Wersarian had a reason to betray you, your lordship. I do not know of any instance where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less than unwavering. I know you care for Astartia. Are you prepared to watch her die? There is something you ought to know. Today I noticed one of my family members to be in an uncharacteristically odd mood. Helen Gaprak is my paternal second cousin once removed. May the Emperor save his soul. Usually reserved and self-possessed, today he was frantic and anxious, fidgeting with a small piece of paper and seemingly looking for someone to no avail. When I last saw him, he was headed to the entrance hall where the altars are. Perhaps you should talk to him. Ooh. And the plot thickens.
It's about time.
So Gapraks might be onto something. They might have caused something to happen. Now we're going to talk to Sourbacks. Your lordship. Oh, you don't want to talk? Okay. The members of House Sourback, led by Macarius, all bear a striking semblance to one another. Do you believe they're guilty? Certainly. Governor Drivesome possesses proof of their guilt, and they have no means by which to refute it. Even if I were to entertain the idea that the Wersarians are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway, if it is so ill prepared for treachery? My advice to House Wersarian would be not to appeal to the rogue trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse for themselves. Damn. I cannot remember him seeking your advice on what House Wersarian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius. Focus on the rogue trader's questions. Ooh. Who apart from the Wersarians could have a motive to conspire against me? House Drivestem wishing to expend their clout. House Gaprak, who lost their influence after the Kiava Gamma incident. House Sourback, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the rogue trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally, they could have none. It is not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your servants have sworn an oath of loyalty to you, so whose sincerity do you doubt? If I was going to doubt anyone, I would doubt this Drivestems, because this is kind of a power play. If we were the ones doing all this bullcrap, doing the sabotage and all that, we're working for the enemy, and we get rid of the people that govern the planet, the Wersarians, then that just leaves us for the chance to take the spot, and then we have full power, and then we can just turn this entire world into an evil planet. Could be. The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning servitors. Do you think the Gapraks could be behind the attack? I've always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her. Regina didn't want to talk. Hecka.
Follow my lead.
Macarius? Nope. Okay, and then we gotta talk to the Wersarians, and then the drive stems, and then this guy. Or probably a guy first, and then the drive stems. Here you go. Hello? Your Lordship, accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making the final decision. The charges brought by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this, and I swear on my own honor, we are not guilty of the crimes that House Wersarian are being accused of. Clementia, you were acting head of this family. You were supposed to take care of each and every family member, and now you are being accused of treason and collusion against the rogue trader, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen? Are you truly guilty? Be honest. I will not tolerate lies. Clementia, if you know that a member of your family is guilty of the crimes you are being accused of. Abelard, it is your family too, you know. My apologies. I should not lose my composure. No member of House Wersarian is involved in a conspiracy against his lordship. Honor and loyalty are not something we take lightly, and we know whom we serve. The governor claims you forged documents at the Administratum. The fleet is the primary remit of House Wersarian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of our responsibility. We have no direct influence on the inner workings of the Adeptus Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. Then we were faced with incorrect weather data and a meager fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of these problems was the calculations performed in the Administratum in one way or another. But no matter how many times we asked, we could never attain any clarification on the matter. I found this letter on the bodies of the heretics who plan to attack. What can you tell me about it? Your Lordship, let us be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this. Knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace, I would not let myself or anyone in my family get involved in such a scheme. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that looked closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Servitors? Is that so? I've encountered servitors that were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanying several members of House Gaprek. That's another pointer finger. If you're not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain from framing you? Anyone, really. The houses consider us unworthy of our position, and many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what once was our domain. The planet's fleets and logistics are at the very least. Lady Theodora chose to grant me noble status to House Wersarian, but the other houses which have served in the Expanse for millennia did not welcome the decision. It has led to some difficulties. I want to find out what is going on here and who the real mastermind behind this all is. Where should I start? I'm afraid I cannot be much help. Talk to the representatives of the other houses. Eavesdrop on their retinue, and perhaps you will hear something unusual. Which I did. I got a line on Gaprek.
Weakness.
Anybody else? That's it. Oh, we just got a bunch of prisoners here? Hello. I wish to hear your reasoning again. What makes you think the Wersarians are behind this plot against me? As soon as the logistical and economic problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls for Voigtvir's return. The investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Administratum were forgeries. We can thank my son Cornelius for such astute observations. Your Lordship, I assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was him that discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries, who admitted to acting on the orders of House Wersarian. You know, these guys, when they get caught, they could just throw one of the noble houses under the bus and then get away with it. Like, oh, my enemy caused me to do this. Take him out for me, thank you. What do you make of this letter? It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Wersarian. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. All of the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families closely tied to the Adeptus Mechanicus. High-functioning servitors? Such servitors are indeed rare, and the Gapraks do have them in their service. But this could have been done intentionally with an eye to confusing you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them. Tell me more about your son. Thank you for your interest, but I am not worthy of it. Son, show due respect, forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader. Tell me about your job, what do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dargonis. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Administratum are. I am afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. How did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? When compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I managed to single out the Administratum clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed they were following the orders of someone from House Wersarian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems. But does House Wersarian have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all this in a place where they don't hold any power. I think the right amount of money can open that door. Why are you nervous? This is the first time I've spoken face to face with the rogue trader. I am afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else? You are speaking to a rogue trader and my patience is running out. Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do it anymore. This lie has gone far enough, and I can no longer control it. The truth is that all of this logistical problems were caused by a single error in my numbers. My mistake. What? When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the Wersarians were responsible for the mistake. And as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all. And what have you done? How could you... Your lordship, This is my fault. I trusted my son, and I have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. And you called my family's honor into question, Urbend? Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means that House Wersarian can now be cleared of all charges. But we still do not know who was behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, and the assassination attempt. Someone is committing their foul deeds and sowing chaos right under your subjects' noses. To leave that stone unturned would be dangerous. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return I would name the Wersarians as the one who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do is gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters. That, and keep my mouth shut. How much you want to bet this person that approached them was one of the Gap Rats? Your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I'll try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship. And as for your position, I think you will be reassigned to a role less requiring responsibility. I don't want to do a verdict yet. This person down here supposedly might have something. Where is he? I forget what this person was. One second. Find the culprit, blah, 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 blah. God, where was that person? Maybe I gotta talk to him again. Greetings, blah, blah, blah. Dang it, I can't find him now.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
One second, I'll try to find him. Said there was a person, but then it's like he was down here. Oh wait, maybe it's this person down here. Ah ha ha. Sneaky hobbitses. Blah blah blah. Hello? Oh, he's dead. The colors of House Gaprak. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such a extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I don't see any wardens. There is no one to ask about what happened here, or with whom this man spoke before he died. I would like to ask Urbend where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. Examine the body. There are no visible wounds, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, likely a wound from a thin needle. Maybe he is poisoned. Death came for him suddenly and ravaged his body with cramping spasms that prevented him from falling to the ground. Some rare poisons have such side effects. The affected victim suffocated slowly without being able to move or call for help. Look in his pockets. Discover a secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket and find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. Helen Gaprak. What does it say? Make sure that the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Wersarian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Wait. What? Make sure the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It would appear as if it was all staged to let the Wersarian family escape. Oh, I see. Let the servitors attack me, so it seemed like the Wersarians were using that to escape. I get it. But they weren't. That's almost tricky writing there. That was good. Look around. You're almost certain that the wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to put to Governor Drivestem.
It's about time.
And none of those guys over there noticed? So I gotta talk to Urban to Drivestem. Nope. I thought we were gonna talk to him about it. Maybe Gaprak? Say that he died? I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Helen. It can't be. Helen. Was it? Tell me about him. Helen is one of the low-ranking members of House Gaprak. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office. But he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of his house, of my house, struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiavagama and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Helen was one of them. What happened to him? Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Valancius trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiavagama, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Gaprak. I lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were, and still are, more than capable of doing that. But I will not deny it. The other houses have offered us their assistance for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Helen decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back. Lord Captain, the Gapraks are all, or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved, but I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Gaprak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deft puppet master. We must expose whoever that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. What do we do? Interrogate the heads of the Drivestem and Sourback houses. One of them has been pulling the strings here. Once we uncover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will be publicly executed. Before you pronounce the verdict, I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech, and I shall observe them. Okay. I've known these people far longer than you have. I know all their gestures, habits, and behavioral quirks. I am sure that I will be able to determine which of them was responsible for the riots based on their behavior.
Follow my lead.
Okay, so Gaprak is clear. Sourbacks haven't had anything indicting them, so it could be them. I discovered a dead body in my palace. A man of House Gaprak was killed while praying to the Emperor. He had a note on him. Do you know anything about that? No, I know nothing about this note. I bet you don't. I'm very suspicious. And you don't want to talk at all, Regina. I discovered a body of Helen Gaprak here in the palace. He had this note on. Do you know anything about it? I'm not sure if it is relevant, but perhaps you should know. Since the fall of Kiavagama, House Gaprak has been faring poorly, to say the least. They have been looking for ways to enhance their influence and to improve their lot, including asking for help with the other noble houses. They have not approached us, of course. It is shameful to seek help from those you consider your inferiors, you understand. But perhaps the Drive Stems or the Sourbacks can tell you more.
I won't tolerate
Oh, Sourbacks
weakness.
are not talking to me at all. Did you see Helen Gaprak before today? Helen? I did not see him myself, but perhaps. Have any of you seen him today? I think my sister and I saw him sitting on the bench some distance away from the palace's entrance. We think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship. We could not make out his face. Lead me to the place. Of course, consider it done.
What is that?
I saw Gaprak conversing with someone here.
My house would be proud of me.
I recognize this bouquet. House Sourback usually serves this wine.
None shall stand in my way.
I called it. I found a dead body. Gaprak was slain in front of an altar. Do you know anything about it? A member of House Gaprak was killed in the palace, and no one noticed. But how? There are wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens have left their post. Did you order them to do so? Emperor forbid, your lordship. Your negligence is stunning, Urband. An assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are, oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and of failing even to notice it. It may be so, but it is for the rogue trader to accuse me of negligence, not you. Your lordship, accept my deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor, and I shall send my servants to deal with all this immediately.
I'll lay
Okay, I'm gonna
claim
talk
to
to
the
the
stars.
Sourbacks. You better answer me this time, otherwise I'm gonna kill you all. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna go with the Gapraks. They kind of seem suspicious. Let me see if anybody else has stuff to say on me finding that. Maybe the Gapraks, because the Gaprak got killed by the Sourback, it seems like. Greens, your lordship, blah blah blah. Nope, we're just gonna keep that to ourselves. Okay. Well, if I'm not gonna get any more information, I think I'm gonna go for the Sourbacks. The charges brought by Governor Drivestem were fabricated. House Wersarian had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot of targeting the rogue trader. However, the real perpetrators are here in this very room. Urban Drivestem, you have exhibited inexcusable negligence by failing to question the possible involvement of any of the other families besides the Wersarians. We have discovered that the attempt on my life was orchestrated by a member of House Gaprak. I don't know if I want to put the Gapraks under the bus. Ooh, that's a good one. I know that House Sourback offered their help to the Gapraks, and the late Helen Gaprak seemed to have accepted the offer. I suspect that you are responsible for his death as well. They furrow their brows and slightly cock their heads. He averts his gaze for the first time, as if trying to remember or make sense of something. He knows some restless movements behind him. The puppeteer has given himself away. Pronounce the verdict. I guess I'll do them all. Drivestem did negligence, and it was orchestrated by the Gabrax. The governor closes his eyes. Fears and shame get the better of him. Some faces in the crowd look confused and surprised, but you see more wearing expressions of self-satisfied contempt. No, it's not the Drivestems. Yeah, so it's the Sourbacks. Urbend, you have accused House Wersarians of violations that were in truth the result of a grave error committed by your son. Same thing. Toriana, a member of your family orchestrated an assassination attempt against me here in my own palace, and though he has already been found dead, his act is reason enough to forever brand your house as traitors. Toriana Gaprak is guilty only of her own poor judgment. Yep, so I'm gonna get the Sourbacks. Get out of here! House Sourback is guilty. You may take it from here. That means my Master of Arms is gonna have problems with me. Macarius, I must admit, I have always admired your bluntness, but just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now, is in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valancius? I am loyal, Wersarian. You are not lying, but someone else is. Someone who is poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Yes, Regina. Regina, you? Mother. Macarius, your bluntness makes you an open book. When I talked about helping the Gaprax, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Sourback, you alone betrayed the rogue trader, jeopardizing the prosperity of the von Valancius trade dynasty, and you alone are responsible for your own unmasking. Why would you do this? Because Dargonus is serving an impostor. The true heir of the Protectorate bears a different name. When Kunrad appeared on Dargonus, he paid me a visit, and opened my eyes to the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwarily taken under her wing. Macarius is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue trader, even an illegitimate one. So I had to wait for the right moment, and the disappearance of the Lord Captain could not have come at a better time. It was quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dargonus, so that the people remembered Master Voigtvir's past service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Why the Wersarians? Because when stripped of the Seneschal's protection, this house is the weakest one on all of Dargonus, and they are also particularly disliked by the governor's family. It would have been easy to bury the Wersarians under accusations of heresy. Who aided you? There is no way you managed this on your own. Oh, of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to list them all. But rest assured, there are plenty of them. And just as there is plenty of people who follow Voigtvir, my death will not change anything. The true rogue trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Why kill Helen? Helen was a good agent, but he was also a coward. He came to me just before the formidable rogue trader arrived. He was ready to confess everything. I suggested that he plead for for the Emperor's forgiveness first. And he did grant him mercy, did he not? Abelard, the sentence has yet to be carried out. Finish it. Does the rogue trader condemn only the rotten apple or the entire barrel? No, just her. I will not exterminate an entire noble line. That is loyal to me just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Sauerback shall be subjected to intense interrogation followed by execution. Shoots a liquefier shot. Contaminates a 3-cell radius area which inflicts 10 toxic damage and applies melting every turn. Cool. Okay. I knew it wasn't the Wersarians. That would have been too easy. So what we need... Oh, by order of the rogue trader, Regina Sauerback is sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against the Trade Dynasty. Oh. She's on the wrong table, but okay. But holy crap. Stripped her down and put her on a table and just cut her up. Holy crap. Anywho. Well, like I was trying to say, I think we need to keep our eyes out on Dargonis a little bit longer, because if those two were Voigtbeer followers, there's definitely going to be more. Lord Captain, you have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on matters that his servants and trustees can resolve, but in this case, your intervention was necessary. Not just for the sake of my family, but your trade dynasty as well. Regina Sauerback, evidently Kunrad's accomplices, continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we have not heard the last of such scoundrels. Thanks to you, House Wersarian is saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without and imprudence within. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. I could ensure that they survive in the future without me. What do you want to do now? I need time to reflect upon what happened and the role I played in it. I think I'll be ready to resume this conversation later when we are back on the ship. At least we saved them. Let's go. Hello. Don't want to say thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, no thank yous. Yeah, he's just sitting here now without Scamander there. Scalander. Alright, after all that, I think I'm done. Good to go. Nothing for you. Okay. We're gonna go back to ship, and then next episode we can talk to Abelard about that. And then maybe... what else can we do? I guess we can go back to that place up top where the sage lady is getting attacked by Drukhari and stuff. It's been a while since we got that mission, but they should be fine. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Leave any comments or anything if you have questions or just want to ask questions, comment on gameplay or anything. Just don't put any spoilers or anything. Thank you.